Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts LeeSilber and Ellen Goodwin. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away. And here's your hosts, Lee and Ellen.
Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm Ellen Goodwin along with
LeeSilber.
And here today we're going to talk about diminishing returns. And it's not in a financial sense, right?
No, but I guess if time is money.
That's true.
Then...
That's true. Well, yeah. Yep. Okay.
And this was suggested by our producer who...
The voice of God that shows up every once in a while?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
And so we'll let Wayne explain why he thinks this is, and I agree with him, a worthy topic for our segment.
Well, I'm self-employed, and I absolutely love the fact that I do something different every single day, and my day is filled with all kinds of different activities. But sometimes I feel like I spend too long on a project and too long on something I don't have the perfect mix of being efficient. And that's what I wanted to talk with you guys about.
Well, it is true. Sometimes it's right there in the title of the segment, diminishing returns.
Right.
It's not about how much time you spend on something.
Right.
It's how much of that time was productive time. I mean, look at me. I know this will sound strange coming from me, but I've gone to the gym and I've watched people work out, and I'm thinking to myself, you could do that same workout in half the time.
Half the time.
If you, let's say you're doing curls, that's one muscle group. Then you so that's a pulling.
Right.
And then you do a pushing.
Right.
Right after. So this is resting while you're more efficient because
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your workout is always moving. Where I see him stop, maybe chit chat, get some water, then do another set, and
Well, and you've got people that think going with the whole I need to go work out for an hour,
right?
And it's not like they're pushing and pulling and doing that for an hour. They are just at the gym for an hour. And I know I've fallen into that before. Oh, yeah, I've still got 15 minutes. Okay. It's not like I'm going to hustle for 15 minutes. I'm going to fill that time. So I hear that exactly.
And I know you, Ellen. I know you.
What?
You're the timer lady.
I'm the timer lady.
And I think that's good, though,
it.
because if you give yourself a time limit and it's shorter than what you think it's going to take, you're going to fill the time if it's too long or if it's too short. So make it too short, and then you're going to just work until the timer goes off, and maybe you for those of us who like to see things completed, you finish it out, but you force yourself to work quicker. Now with Wayne's example, people that have to work on an assembly line or in an office are thinking, I want his life. I want that problem.
I don't want
Give me that problem.
Yeah.
But it is true that even on assembly lines, they have people switch jobs because
boredom.
Boredom, and then you get sloppy and dangerous. You lose a finger or an arm.
Well, yeah, that's a problem.
Leg.
Yeah. Well, one of the things you can do is when you're doing things and you realize you're diminishing returns, like Wayne was talking about, just stop. Stop in the middle of where you are, go away and come back. And your brain wants to jump in on that. I think we've talked about writers before. Yeah. A lot of writers will stop in the middle of a sentence, and then when they come back, they can just jump right back in, so they don't have that, uploading process.
Actually, what I do is I write what I was gonna do next down and put it on top of the pile or on my screen.
But then you walk away.
So when I come back, I kind of know where I was, because your brain's always working faster than your hands.
Right.
in more than one. I'm talking about writing, but yeah.
Yes, I realize that.
And so, and I will say that I know people who say, I'm gonna write this book, but I'm not going to do it till I'm retired, or the kids are off to college, or, I get a sabbatical from my work. Let me just say, that's rare that somebody, I know I hear about these authors that talk about, I go to my office at 9, I'm there till 5, and I write all day. Bull.
Well, you do not.
Yeah, you work better in short bursts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I like that because I'm always afraid that if I leave the project right there, I'm not going to remember where I was.
So figure out a way to do it. And, on some of you, I know you do a lot of house stuff. Take a picture. Take a picture of where you are and maybe somehow connect it to what Lee was saying of writing down what comes next. Just a Post-it note.
Right.
So then you can come back to it and slip right into the same
mindset,
right.
That you've taken a break. You go. I'm a big believer. If you're doing something physical, you go do something mental for 10 minutes. Read a book. Do a puzzle. Whatever. Let your whatever you've just diminished, let that fill back up.
And I will say for me, I like to, I mean, this is so obvious, but to break things down into like a big project into micro projects so that I can complete something, but it only takes an hour versus the whole thing. So, but it is sometimes you get all your stuff out, your tools out. It doesn't make sense to come leave it and then come back. If you can though, like you have a workshop, it makes sense. But if you spend all that time to set up, maybe it is better to just see it through.
Well, but I mean, you still could take breaks. Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Because I hear you. I think we've talked about it before when you're cleaning your bike and things like that. You've got everything out. I get that. And you don't want, God, I got to get this done. But it's okay to break it down. Walk away just knowing, you know what you can do? You can set a timer, and when that timer goes off, you go back to it. I'm serious.
No, you're right.
I am serious because you do need to keep track of time. But yeah, you come back, just like you said, you've written down what you're going to do next. Because, when your brain runs out of energy, and we all have a certain amount of willpower and self-control at any given time.
Some less than others.
True that. But when you run out of it, you can't. It's like bashing your head against the wall. So you have to let it refill. I mean, it's like when your phone runs out of battery, you can want it to work all you want, but it's not going to work until you plug it back in. And that's the same with you. Like, diminishing returns is your phone, your personal brain phone running out of battery.
All right, it's not my gym, but it's my wife's gym because I don't want people to think I am super buff. But there's a room now that has all these different machines, and there's a timer on the wall.
Ooh.
And I'm going to call it the Ellen room now. and it's just for ding-dongs. It's in an order. You go in order. You spend 30 seconds on each one, and it does what you're talking about. You're developing different parts of the muscles without even thinking about where I'm going to go next. You just go and
follow the path.
That's efficient.
That's super efficient.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, now that we all know about diminishing returns, we're going to work on them.
Let's end now.
Let's end now. We're not coming back to this one. We've diminished all the returns. Thank you for being here, and be with us again next week for another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better Show.